everyone, thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Alright, really excited for today, because today we're going to be talking about Lore Olympus. I love Lore Olympus. Absolutely love it. I am a huge fan of the WEBToon comic. It's really funny. I scroll through Facebook every so often, and snippets of Lore Olympus kept popping up, right? And at first I was like, swipe, oh, this is interesting. But I'm like, I don't feel like downloading another app in order to read this, so I didn't write. And then one day I'm just like, you know what, let me see what this is all about. Right? Downloaded WEBToon, and now I'm a fast pass reader. I tune in every Saturday. And if you're thinking I don't, when I was in the hospital, I gave birth on a Saturday afternoon. That Saturday night, I read the WEBToon comic. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Sorry, I'm in my gym clothes today. It's just so good. And you're probably thinking like, well, why do I have to buy the book if it's on WEBToon? Because it's amazing. That's why. A huge fan, and it's a great way to support the author, honestly. She writes everything herself. She does the artwork herself. I follow her on Instagram, so she has included, photos and video clips of her workspace. So it's really just her creativity in the story. And what the story is she's redoing Greek mythology, specifically the tale of Persephone and Hades. And yes, I did get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I just absolutely love it. Oh, was Eisner nominated? I didn't know that. It's really good. And here's something else. This publication includes an extra story that is not in the WEBToon. So I think it was really great. Now, let's get into the story. Just so you know this, there is content warning right at the beginning. And she does this as well, with her WEBToon comic. It deals, and I'm going to read it straight from here. It deals regularly with themes of physical and mental abuse, sexual trauma, and toxic relationships. Some of the interactions in this volume may be distressing for some readers. Please exercise discretion and seek out the support of others if you require it. Definitely, she does start every episode with content warnings as well, which I definitely enjoy. But it's not just about Persephone and Hades. You've got all the Greek gods in here. You've got Zeus, you have Artemis, Apollo, Hermes, Demeter. You've got some nymphs, Hera. It does explore other characters. It's just Hades and Persephone are the main focus. It's a romance. It's a romance graphic novel. Which is funny coming from me, considering how many times I'm just like, I don't do romance. I don't, really. But I love Greek mythology, and I love her interpretation of Hades and Persephone, because it's just funny as well. She makes the Greek gods incredibly realistic. She humbles some of them. And I think that that's what's really engaging about the story, because you're dealing with these characters, and they have a lot of baggage, including, Hades and Persephone. So Persephone's pretty much, her mother's a helicopter Demeter is a helicopter mom, but to like the extreme. It's borderline toxic. It doesn't make me personally Demeter's biggest fan in the narrative. And you're seeing just how detrimental it has been to Persephone as a person, honestly. And you're going to see more of that, you know, with Volume 2 that comes out soon, hopefully soon. But I think it's really just really great to see their stories brought in such a relatable way. It definitely connect very strongly to Persephone's kind of upbringing. Her mother means well, but it's just in the end very harmful for Persephone as a character to just be so closed off. You know, her mother's just, no, you can't do this. No one, she pretty much tries to keep her existence a secret from the other gods. She doesn't really want her interacting with anyone. She wants her to be a maiden forever. And you're kind of just like, you're making decisions for her. You're not really discussing them with her. You're just like, my word is law. That's it. That's an end of story, end of discussion, right? And you really feel bad for Persephone because she deals with a lot and she doesn't know how to handle it. You know, her mother just kept her in like this gilded cage and didn't really talk to her. So you're just like, how is she supposed to reconcile her experiences with her upbringing? And then you have Hades. Now Hades is the firstborn son. He was the first one who was eaten. And it's still very, very traumatic for him. He's still reliving. I'm just looking at the scene, you know. It's a really powerful scene. It's, oh God, her artwork is beautiful, and I'll talk about that in a second. He is still suffering in a way. He thinks he's pretty much worthless. And you get to see that he doesn't really think he deserves much, and you really pity him, but it makes him such a nice guy, and you're really seeing how different he is from his brothers, from Zeus and Poseidon. He's more, I don't want to say relaxed, because he's down to earth, I guess. He's not all, I'm all high and mighty. It's just, he has his own issues that he has to deal with, and he's working on them. But the thing is, you also are seeing that a lot of people aren't really acknowledging him as a person. So he really has to find his worth. He doesn't think he's worth much to anyone, even his brothers. So ultimately, you know, it's a very grounded story, and I really love her writing. I really love the humanity in which she puts into these godly creatures to make them more relatable to the reader. And it really does, like I said, it does deal with a lot of heavy themes, hence the content warnings. But again, I just made my glasses worse. Again, it just connects to the reader in a very powerful way. I think her storytelling is amazing. Her pacing, her development, how she grows the characters. It's just great. Now, as for her artwork, I love her artwork. I love her choice of colors. You know, colors are very important. They do tend to symbolize a lot, you know, especially with the gods. So they all have like different skin colors, and they're all, it's all very colorful. See? So Persephone's pink, you know, spring, you think peonies, cherry blossoms. And I feel like she does, whenever her hair does that, I always see like cherry blossoms. Maybe it's just like in my head. And then you have Eros, who's also pink. You have Artemis, who's like, well no, Eros is like a purple, and then you've got Artemis and Apollo, and I love it. I love it. And then you have Hera, the almighty queen of the gods, and her royal regal gold. I mean, come on, that's just top notch. Colors are very symbolic. If you're someone who has studied colors, meaning historical references to that, it's really going to say a lot, but you don't have to have that knowledge of colors and history behind them in order to appreciate her artwork. I mean, her artwork is phenomenal. Some of her scenery, there was a scene. Some of her scenery is absolutely breathtaking. I love any scene. I mean, it's just powerful. Right there, her paneling. I think they did, oh, look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. And she does it all herself, Rachel Smythe. I mean, it's just, I love it. I mean, just her use of color, her textures. I mean, she's just absolutely beautiful in her storytelling. And I mean, it's just great. I'm a huge fan. I don't think I can stress that enough. I think her artwork, her storytelling, her character development, I mean, I'm already like, again, fast reader. Every Saturday I tune in, and I still bought this, and I still reread it. In fact, I went to the bookstore, I bought it, I read it in the car ride home, and then I read it, finished reading it at home. My husband's like, you just bought that? I'm like, and? So? It's great. It's amazing. It's just definitely worth every penny you can imagine. So, needless to say, this gets 5 stars. Lore Olympus gets 5 stars. It has everything. It has compelling storytelling. It has a beautiful message behind it, and the artwork is just amazing. This girl is, hopefully that's the right pronoun, this author, let's go with that, is absolutely superbly talented. I wish I could be that talented. She's great. They are great with their storytelling, with their artwork. It's absolutely 100% breathtaking and amazing. And I definitely think you should read it. You should buy it, and then you should also tune in every Saturday on WEBToon to read it. Again, I will be reading it every Saturday. I do read it every Saturday. And then when she goes on hiatus, I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do with my life? That is me, 100%. So, you can purchase the book Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. I know Illumicrate had their own special edition, which I totally wish I could have bought, but I didn't. It's great. I will include a link to the author's website as well, so you can see all of your purchasing options. I just recommend purchasing it from a bookseller instead of Amazon. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me here by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Purchase the book. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.